Welcome to Artform, located in the heart of Mississauga at 86 Dundas Street East. So I'm here with Cash Pachutin. He's the CEO of Emblem Developments, and Jenny Boy, the Senior Vice President of Melbourne Real Estate. So we're here to talk about Artform, which is the highly anticipated project coming to Mississauga. So can you please let us know, first of all, just about the development and what Emblem, like who is Emblem?
Why don't I talk a little bit about Emblem and really our vision and how we approach projects, including Artform. Emblem is the private equity arm of First Avenue, which is an investment management firm that I founded. We've been managing assets and advising high net worth families for 20 years. And really, Emblem is the division and the private equity arm where we're able to invest outside of the stock market. As professional investors, we identify significant opportunity in the real estate market, and this is how we go about capturing that. So Emblem is very well capitalized. It's backstopped by First Avenue, managing assets in excess of $1 billion liquid. So we have that financial depth to be able to attract some of the top professionals in the real estate development industry in Toronto, and have recruited them and assembled them together to work full time for Emblem. Also, in terms of the feasibility of a project, we all know how important it is to be well capitalized to make sure not only do you sell the units but can actually build them. And our capital structure gives us significant advantages and strength in the Toronto development space.
Okay, that's good. So what sets Emblem apart from other developers out there?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. One of the important areas is, as I mentioned, how well capitalized we are. We don't raise capital because the capital that we have is permanent. It's permanent capital that we're already managing. So for buyers of units or someone that's investing in a building, it's important to know that the ability to do that building from a developer perspective is not based on if we're able to raise the money, right? Being capitalized the way that we are ensures that when we come to market with a project, it gets built. An interesting point was during the COVID period where everything was on hold.
For sure.
We were looking at our strategy with this building, and thankfully the Toronto market has been very strong. We've seen how strong and resilient Toronto is.
It's coming back very strong.
Very strong. Prices today are higher than they were pre-COVID.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So during COVID, though, we didn't know that, right? And we were looking at what our strategy was, and what we were going to do is actually start construction, build this building without even going to sales.
Wow.
Right, which is unheard of in the Toronto development space. And again, because of the capital behind us, we're able to do that. So it's very important because as a buyer, often the investment or the purchase of a condominium for many people is the largest investment that they make with their hard-earned money.
Right.
And so you need to make sure that if you're going to lock up your money, that the financial backing and strength is there from the developer to be able to execute. So how Emblem is different, one of the ways is how well capitalized we are. The other way is, we have a very long-term view. And what I mean by that is it allows us to not cut any corners.
Okay.
We're not overly focused about just the profit on a project. Our brand and our reputation is very important to us. And so it starts with passion for what we do. Although my background is spreadsheets and math and financial markets, those that are close to me know how passionate I am about design. And Emblem is really my way of being able to output my creativity and my passion for design, art, and buyers are going to be able to really benefit from that.
I can see that, yeah. Because by looking at the renderings and, I see the designs and the features and the finishings, they're very, very beautiful. And they actually look I would say a lot better than some of the downtown projects that out there right now. So since we have Cash and Jenny here, can we talk about Artform? Like more
Absolutely.
details about
Sure.
the project?
Yeah, what can we tell you? Where would you like to start?
The location?
The location,
Yeah.
yes, the
Yeah.
location. Yeah.
So when we looked at Cooksville and Mississauga, but specifically Cooksville at this site, there was a few areas that were very exciting to us. From an investment perspective, this site checked all of the boxes. It's an area that is seeing a major resurgence. We know when you're investing in a condominium, you want to make sure that you strike the right balance. Your timing is right, because if you're too early, then it takes a long time for the area to really establish itself. If you invest in an area that's very well established, it's great, your surroundings are beautiful, but you don't often have the same appreciation potential. Mississauga, and specifically Cooksville, to us is right in that sweet spot, because we are seeing major development slated to take place. As you may know, the city has put out in writing that this area, this site, is right in the middle of a master plan community. You and I both know how well investments in real estate do when you acquire them and they're right in the middle of master plan
It's the
communities.
Dundas Connects.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, from an investment perspective, we really like the location because it's in the middle of a master plan community. We're able to combine another very important component to help that investment perform, which is how close it is to public transit. So you can walk out of your unit at Artform, and within a few hundred meters, you're at the Cooksville Mobility Hub.
Yeah.
This is not your average bus station. You have LRT, BRT, GO Train.
Yeah.
Everything is there, and with a short ride, you could even get off at the Kipling station and take the subway. So you're able to access all four forms of major public transit, which makes this site very unique. And that site, what we've learned from an investment background and the experience we have is anytime you're able to make an investment and have the government backing it, you tend to do very well.
Very well.
And what I mean by that is in the Cooksville Mobility Hub, that this is a few hundred meters away from, the city is committed to investing over $100 million to the infrastructure of that station. And that state-of-the-art transit station will be within a few hundred meters away from this site. So you have the location being right in the middle of a master plan community. You have a major transit hub a few hundred meters away. And those two elements are really the most important elements to see an investment do well.
I totally agree, because I've been speaking to a lot of my clients, and they agree, and they like the location because of transportation. I mean, investing in real estate, transportation is number one, something that's important. That's something you
Absolutely.
have to look into, whether you want to live there or you want to invest or rent it out. So I think we are in a very good location in
We're
terms
very good.
of that.
And I think we believe that it's an excellent location so much
Mhm.
that we've committed to several sites in that area. We're not interested in doing just one building and moving
Okay.
on. So we will actually accelerate how well or how quickly that community is going to be established by the multiple building commitment we've made to Cooksville.
So not only Artform 1, but we're going to have Artform 2?
That's
Okay.
right. We will have Artform 2 that we will roll into right after Artform 1.
Okay.
And above and beyond that, we have other sites that we will be looking at developing right in that area. So you have public transit, major public transit.
Mhm.
You have the fact that it's in the middle of a master plan community. You have Square One, which is
Square One,
a
yeah.
few stops away. That will be the hub of entertainment, shopping,
Yeah.
really all of that for Mississauga. There's no question with the commitment that we've seen with the development that's going to take place in Square One, that will be the mecca of entertainment, dining, shopping. And to be a few stops away, we actually view it as being ideal, because history tells us that homeowners like to be close to the action, but
Mhm.
sometimes not permanently in the action. Right? So you can go there for entertainment, shopping, fine dining, but when you want to rest and rejuvenate, you're far enough away where you're able to get that as well.
It's
So
only
it's really
about
the best
5
of
minute
both worlds.
drive from Dundas and Hurontario to
That's right.
Square One, so it's not too far.
Or 5 stops of
5
the
stops
LRT.
if you do the
Yeah.
LRT. Yeah.
I wanted to add, it's also the proximity to University of Toronto Mississauga as
Oh,
well,
okay,
which
that's
is the
a
landmark
very good point.
institution,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
Sheridan College.
Mhm.
I mean, combined between the university and the college, there are about 20,000 students that's attending
Yeah.
school.
And transportation is
Yeah,
very important for students. Yeah.
If you take the BRT bus, it's about 16 minutes.
So
bus ride
BRT is on
directly.
Dundas. Just
Yeah.
want to make it clear.
It's
so
right
that-
at the corridor of Dundas and here in Ontario.
Right. And then Hurontario
Yeah.
will be the LRT.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
And then you have the BRT bus, and it's a rec bus right outside of Artform.
Okay.
And we talk about student beds. There's about 1,500 beds at the University of Toronto Mississauga. So there's
Mhm.
great potential, like huge pool of rental.
Mhm.
I mean, for any investor that wants to purchase.
Mhm.
And I think that with that in mind, I mean, everybody know that eventually our children might not be afford to buy real estate anymore because we're talking about millions of dollars.
Mhm.
So if you want to build generational wealth, you want someone to pay off your mortgage, or you want to just live on rental income, it's a fantastic opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, so that's how you get into real estate by buying pre-construction,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
And then also because of deposit structure, which
Oh,
we have.
So can we
I
talk
mean,
about that
yeah.
deposit structure?
Yeah, so it's going to be 5% per year. So
that's
you
good.
have you have your 5% 2020, 5% 21, and
Mhm.
5% 22, and then occupancy it's tentatively 2024 in the spring.
Okay.
So that will be another 5%.
So it's very flexible. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
too close. Like you don't have to do like every 60 days, every 90 days. So
yeah,
That's right. It's really important from an investment perspective
Mhm.
when you're acquiring a unit that's 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, and you're only putting $50,000, $80,000 down, right? I mean, in this case, it's only 5%.
it's about 5%. Yeah.
So when you do the math, if you buy a unit that's 600,000, and in the first year you're only putting down about 30,000,
Yeah.
but what you're getting right away is the appreciation of an investment of 600,000.
That's the most
And that's how
important.
wealth is
Yeah.
created,
Mhm.
right? That's how wealth is created, is that you're committing approximately 30,000 to see appreciation on an investment that's 600,000. And so that's why we do see wealth created and wealth grown
Mhm.
through the investment in real estate. And so as an asset class, it's a very effective way to grow wealth. To take that one step or two, 3 steps further, then it comes down to how do you pinpoint that investment. And inputs such as being so close to major transportation hubs, being in the middle of master planned communities, being so close to the major entertainment hubs, as well as universities and colleges, there's a check in every single box.
Mhm.
You can have 1 or 2 of those factors and see the investment do well. In this case, and what makes this site very unique is that you have a check in all of those boxes.
It's like you can't go wrong. You can never
Yeah.
go wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
going to our suite mix, and Cash is going to elaborate on the detail of the
So can we
vision.
talk about more detail
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
buildings, about the
Sure.
streets,
Yeah.
and about amenities and
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I'll start with the facts, and
Mm-hmm.
it's 17-story. We have 336 units, and the location will be at 86 Dundas Street East,
Okay.
which is approximately about 300 meters away from the corridor of Dundas and here in Ontario.
Okay.
We also have starting price will be up to 400, and that's a 1+ den, not a 1-bedroom, not a studio.
That's unheard of.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And we design our suite mix based on a type of a buyer in mind for
Mhm.
every single unit. Because nowadays, before the pandemic, we designed this way with what in the fact that everyone who works from home will have the opportunity to use a den as an office. And the way how we designed the den is actually big enough to put a bed in there for a guest. Or
It's like a bedroom.
yeah,
Not even a den.
yeah, that's right. And even a 1-bedroom plus den that we have, it has 2 bathrooms, so you could have a couple with young child, or just a
Mhm.
single couple, or even 2 students to rent out that. And we also have 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and then 2-bedroom plus den, 2-bath as well.
Okay.
And even 2-bedroom plus den is like a 3 bedrooms, which
Yeah.
is amazing. It's
Yeah.
just so well designed. And also the way how we our amenity, we have over 17,500 square feet indoors and outdoor, and we designed it to be more efficient. And we have lots of outdoor space as well, which we
I
designed.
think outdoor space for a condo living is very important for
Yeah.
the residents who live in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Cash will elaborate more on the outdoor space as well. I mean, all of our unit has either a balcony, or a terrace.
Yes,
Yeah.
terrace.
It's pretty
I
amazing.
like that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No, it's interesting. Often as a developer, it's easy to become lazy in the building you design if you have a good location, right? What we've done here is treated location and the building almost separately. We have a phenomenal location, and we talked about all of the benefits of the location, but we have treated the building as important above and beyond. So the building, the more one learns about it, the more they realize it's very different than anything else on the market, Mississauga. Starting from the outside, right? What you'll notice is that the building has a beautiful, timeless design. Not only does this building look beautiful in Mississauga, you could take this building and put it anywhere in Toronto, and it will hold its own against any other building that's out there. You could take this building to the most expensive areas in Toronto, for example, Yorkville, and put it in Yorkville, and it will stand its own against all of the other beautiful buildings in Yorkville.
Absolutely.
And that's really important. It speaks to the pride that we have in designing a product that is more than what's expected. We're not looking at just meeting the bare minimum. We're looking at exceeding it because it's our name that's on the building, and that's really the DNA of Emblem. So from the outside, a few of the key highlights. First, the quality in what we do comes out immediately. You'll notice there's no stucco on our building. We are using high quality materials that generally are only present in much higher price point of buildings. Brick, glass, every unit has a balcony. This type of commitment to quality is very important because the investment that we're making is not only for the next 2 years or 3 years. A building has to be thought of 5 years and 10 years. And over time, the commitment that a developer has to quality shows. And not only does it show visually, but it shows in the numbers of how one's investment performs. Right. So from the outside, you can see that commitment is there. Even something as simple as the size of the windows. Right? That's very important in a condominium, in any home. How much natural daylight comes in is very important. So when you put that type of thought behind lots of natural daylight coming in, the exterior using timeless, high quality materials, making sure every unit has a terrace or a balcony. This again does two things. One, if you're planning on living in it, your quality of life is enhanced. If you're buying it as an investment, you now create distinction compared to other product that's out there. Jenny talked about the amenity space, very important in a condominium. And again, that obsession with design that we have at Emblem carries forward in how we thought of the amenity spaces. So before COVID, there wasn't as much of an appreciation of being able to get some fresh air and go outside if you live in a condominium. We were already thinking about how we can create more of a home-like experience in the condominium format. And the way that we've achieved that here in Artform is making sure that there's ample outdoor terracing space, not one, but 2 outdoor amenity spaces. And not only the space, but the quality of the experience in that space. So with Artform 1, we are right beside a creek, and we've worked with the Conservation Authority to restore those areas. And so when you're outside, you can imagine sitting outside, you have lots of green, you have a tree-lined perimeter, and you can hear the water from the creek. That creates very much a backyard feel, which is uncommon within condominium living.
That's something that money can buy, because
quality of life.
So the exterior, you spoke about, timeless design. What about the interior? Because I know you're working with U31 to design the interior. So can we talk about
Absolutely
the inside of the suites? And
so the same commitments that we've made to the outside, that we've made to the terracing, to the amenity space, it goes into the units. So first of all, one of the beliefs DNA and our DNA that Emblem has is you work with the best. In our internal team, we believe we've assembled some of the best people, and the consultants that we work with are the best as well. Our interior designer here is U31, who has a very well-established reputation for creating beautiful, functional spaces. They've done some of the most notable buildings downtown Toronto, and we brought them to the Mississauga area to do Artform. And it's one thing to work with the best, but it's not a substitute for us at Emblem to be hands off. So we've brought U31 in and we've been working with them since the infancy of this project, but we've also been very hands on with the spaces that we've designed. So the units, whether you buy the smallest unit or the largest unit, you will see quality throughout the entire suite mix. When you step into the unit, the design that U31 has put forth here is very, very impressive because it's airy, it's simple, it allows you to have relaxation in the units and really for these units to breathe. That's done partly with the quality of the flooring. It's done with the large windows letting in ample natural daylight. The kitchen, that's a very important part. Whether you cook or not, we all love a beautiful kitchen.
That's the place where you spend the most time during the day.
Absolutely.
The kitchen.
Absolutely. And so the commitment we've made in all units within Artform is a clean European designed kitchen. What I mean by that is when you look at most condominiums and you look at the backsplash, you see tiles, right? You see the grout marks, you see tile, and that can look great. What looks better is when you have full slab, right? Again, very uncommon in this price point. We have full slab backsplash in all of the units. That slab backsplash shows no grout lines. It's one piece. It leads to having the same for the countertop. So when you look at the kitchen, you see a very seamless design of stone backsplash leading into the same stone as your countertop. These types of details, that type of commitment to detail from a developer is expensive. It eats into our profit margin, but what it does is it helps create that feeling of, wow, it feels right. That same mindset is brought all the way through the unit. So when you walk into the bathrooms, again, same idea. It feels right. Why does it feel right? Well, something as simple as having the glass for the shower be frameless. So the glass in our showers does not sit in a metal channel. It's completely clear. So you essentially get the appearance that you have glass that's floating. And again, the buyer, our homeowner, the real estate professional may not always realize, why is it that I'm getting this feeling? But it's that type of intention behind the design to achieve it and not substitute any of that, whether you're in the bathroom, you're in the kitchen, you're in the amenity space, or you're outside looking at the building. And that's one of the key ways Emblem is different, because we have an obsession with design and it's demonstrated in every facet of what we do.
Okay.
And to Cash's point, without compromising our interior and exterior finishes, 80% of our units priced under $600,000. That's what amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
you can't find that in Mississauga.
Or even, I mean, if you go downtown, you'll be lucky to get a studio, 1 bedroom.
Downtown,
and we know that price range is a very sweet, very attractive price for pretty much anybody to purchase. Because with 15% down, you're looking at $90,000. You wait 3 years, and the appreciation over the long term, mid to long term.
So there are so many reasons, people should buy here or should invest here because of the location, the future appreciation, the timeless design inside out, the amenities, the transportation, everything.
Yeah. And the developer who's well capitalized.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important to say that the fact is, with the population growth Toronto is seeing, Mississauga is seeing, there's going to be a lot of development. And I think real estate investors over the long term are going to do very well in real estate, but some will do better than others. Yeah. And one of the ways that you do well or better than others is make sure that you invest in a building that's not going to look like everything else that's out there. And so a boutique building that has that commitment to quality of design and quality of finish inside and outside is a great way of achieving that.
Okay. So we're looking at when do we start?
We're going to release the pricing on August 18th, the Tuesday.
On the 18th, okay.
Yeah. So we're going to provide that floor plan, price list for you, everything. So then, the buyers just have to contact you because you're part of our platinum program. Sure. And then you get the first pricing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, first pricing is always the best.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're one of the first few buildings that's going to be coming out. And like Cash said, we're part of the Dundas Connects master plan community. I mean, there's going to be 52,000 new residents in the area. Yeah. That's fantastic.
The timing is right because as every new building is introduced in the area, the prices we know just go higher and higher. And the reason is building cost goes higher and higher. And as building costs go higher and higher, that increase is passed to the consumer. And so that's why we see as phase 2 of a building comes out, it's more expensive than phase one. So the opportunity here is that buyers are in at the ground level, buying in the first phase of Artform and other buildings that are there, and that will give them very attractive pricing given the stage that we're at.
And the occupancy
Will
is
be spring 2024.
2024.
We've lined up our occupancy to be around the same time as all of the infrastructure and the LRT, the Cooksville Mobility Hub, all of that will be complete. So homeowners will not have to live through massive construction as they move into their new beautiful unit at Artform.
Anything else that you guys want to
No,
say?
I think
No, I think this is great. Yeah.
Thank you, Cash. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here.
You're most welcome.
Me, and thank you, Jenny, for taking your time too. I mean, you guys speak so much about a project, and I know this is going to be one of the best projects in Mississauga, and it's going to do very well. So all the best to all of us, and thank you very much.
Thank you
and
for having us.
See you guys soon.
Hey there, Jason Brown with Millbourne team. I'm going to show you guys the scale model that we have for Artform's project. This is a 17-story, 336 unit, beautiful luxury boutique building that's coming to the Mississauga Square One area soon. I'll take you over here and I'll show you orientation of the building. Dundas Street, which is running east-west. The true north orientation comes out somewhere around here. So while the municipality considers this the north, this is going to be our north face of the building, wherein you'll have the foyer, the entrance into the building, as well as the underground parking garage. I'll take you around here really quick. You can get a quick shot of the amenities. We've got 17,500 square feet of beautiful, luxurious amenities, including outdoor entertainment areas that actually back onto a ravine that runs north up to Dundas Street, which is going to be east-west here.
So this is where the ravine is.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's a lot of trees and bushes, but there's also actually a creek that runs through here. So if you take a look on this side of the scale model, here's your ravine and there's your creek that runs through there as well. So if you were to drive down to the site, you can see, you can go in there and explore the creek. I've been down there a couple times myself. It's actually really beautiful. And when this is all finished, it's going to come in gorgeously there. Take a shot of that map really quick. Dundas and Hurontario with Artform right here. We're only minutes from the Cooksville GO station. You've got Whole Foods and Metro just around the way here, and Square One Shopping Center. So super interconnected and part of the Dundas Connects master project, which is going to help to boost the, intensify the development of the infrastructure in the area. So I think that's a pretty good taste. You got any other questions?
What about the outdoor amenities? Like, you show us what's there and what's here.
Yeah. So if you'll come over there, you'll see we've got two outdoor entertaining spaces. So here you've got your outdoor lounge, and then here you have what's effectively, if you were to come in, so I showed you what we're calling the north side of the building, where the foyer and the garage entrance
Okay.
is. If you were to go in through the foyer, which is here, this roundabout, and to come into the foyer, you could actually walk out into this open entertaining area as well, which is going to be a secondary foyer. So I'll take you back over to the scale model so you can then get contrast on that. The other side is the foyer. If you were to come through the concierge area there, you'd be able to entertain out here, as well as on the south face or the east face of the building, you've got another entertainment space there.
And the retail would
Yeah.
be.
Come over to the front here. We're gonna have one retail unit for lease across the front. It's gonna be quite a large retail unit as well. A nice
So
luxurious.
there are a few retail
component.
units in the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What other questions? Yeah.
I think you pretty much covered everything. And
Okay, great.
Thank
If
you
you
very much.
want to take a shot here, last thing. Thank you so much. Let me show you this.
Oh,
This is a rendering that will show you a 10-year progression, so it's Cooksville tomorrow, and the idea here is that you're getting into the action before a lot of these developments come in. These developments are obviously going to raise price per square foot in the area, and that's going to reflect positively in your client's investment.
Absolutely.
So I really like that rendering as well. If you have any more questions,
so Artform would be like the first one in here in the Dundas Connect.
one of the first, and that's part of the reason that they decided to come with a 17-story tower instead of a larger tower, because they really want to come in with a luxurious, boutique-y, high-end building to set the tone for the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. for
Thank
your
you so
time.
much. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
If you need any more information, please go to my website at www.artform-vipcondos.com,
or call me directly at 647-391-7355.